Greetings, I'm Dr. Al Freeman. Welcome to National Lutheran School Accreditation training for the Protocol G scoring system. And we will focus on the General Indicators of Success scoring system, as that is new to Protocol G. Standard ratings for general indicators. It is similar to the past. School must rate its compliance with each general indicator in the self-study. They have the ability to do so on a scale of 1 to 4, with 4 indicating excellence. They also have to support their rating with evidence as well that the validation team will validate. Ratings are based on a preponderance of evidence and practices in place at the school. And again, the school will provide evidence in its self-study, and then the validation team during their examination of the self-study and their site visit will validate that rating. And the validation team, as in the past, can either increase or decrease the rating based on their validation. Standard area ratings reflect the school's overall quality in that area. So it indicates that for the specific general indicator of success and then for that standard as well. Our general indicators of success, rating implementation for each indicator of success is based on the evidence and practices, so there must be support provided to you, the validation team, by the school. Each indicator is to be rated using the rubrics and assigned a point value, and this is where in Protocol G it has changed slightly. We still have a scale 1 to 4, 4 signifying highly functional or excellence. 3 is that operational rating. It is, again, the expectation that our schools should receive a rating of 3. They should be at the operational level. And then 2 means that they are emerging for that general indicator, so there is work to be done. Any rating of a 2 or a 1, as we'll see here shortly, need to be in the school's action plan and part of their then overall action and strategic plan moving forward and how that will be addressed, along with a time frame for that to be addressed. 1 continues to be not evident, therefore the school has no evidence they are achieving at the benchmarks provided for a 1, and the school again must indicate that and put it in its school action plan, those benchmarks that are lacking and how they will address those benchmarks in a given time frame, including the person assigned to make sure that it happens during that time frame and the school is meeting that success. The committee will arrive at a rating after careful consideration and discussion. That is the validation team, as always, will reflect on the information provided by the school, their evidence, their practices, what you see, the focus group interviews, all of that is collected by the validation team, and then it is examined in your discussion to provide a rating for the school. Again, that rating that the school provides in the self-study can be increased or lowered, decreased by the validation team based on the evidence, the site visit, the discussions, and all the information that you have been given by the school and that you acquire during your site visit. As a reminder, it is not a GPA. Sometimes we like to equate a 4.0 or a 3.2 or such a rating, and we think of it as a GPA. Really, this is a spectrum rating, so it is information for that school to see where they are excelling, where work is to be done. So it is to, in all of our accreditation visits, affirm the great work that's being done, areas of excellence, identify best practices, and also to challenge the school for growth in certain areas. This is a general indicator of success. So we have 104 as the general indicator of success. School leadership, administration, and board regularly assembles school constituencies, including but not limited to faculty, staff, parents, students, and congregational stakeholders, to review, clarify, and renew the school's stated purpose. Notice again, we have the rating there of 1 to 4. In column 1, we have one benchmark there, which is A. In column 2, we have 2 benchmarks, B and C. Column 3, we have 3 benchmarks, D, E, and F. Column 4, we have 1 benchmark. The first difference with Protocol G, you probably note here, is the fact that we have lettered the benchmarks. This is so that you as a school in the self-study can provide evidence directly to 1A, 2B, 2C, and so on and so forth. And as a validation team, if you feel as though there is information that is lacking or evidence that is lacking, you can point to, let's say, 3E, school goals, learner outcomes are aligned with the purpose, and you can state to the school that work needs to be done on 3E and that they should perhaps place that in their school action plan. And then at the bottom, you see the identify and list supporting evidence or practices, and then comments. So we've provided space for that as well for the self-study and for you as a validation team. To receive a 4, the school meets all benchmarks listed for all indicators and scoring boxes 1 through 4. So all of those benchmarks must be met to have a 4. For a 3, all benchmarks must be met in column 1, column 2, and column 3. And therefore, the school receives a score of a 3. And again, the validation team is verifying the practices and the documentation for that score. The score of 2 that we still title an emerging for the school in terms of work being done. We note that improvement is required in this area and that all benchmarks for the scoring in column 1 are completed and all benchmarks for column 2 are completed and documented, and therefore the school receives a score of a 2. Any benchmark not fully met has to be addressed again in the school action plan. If a school receives a rating of a 3 or 4 for that benchmark for the general indicator, the school may still choose to place that general indicator in their school action plan. The difference being if it's a 1 or a 2, they must. 3 or 4, it is up to the school and can be an encouragement from the validation team as well if they so desire. 1 is where it is not evident. Therefore, to receive a score of a 1, the school must meet all benchmarks for scoring column 1 and provide documentation. Validation team verifies these practices. Any benchmark not fully met must be addressed in the school action plan. And when we say to receive a score of a 1, in reality, that is the lowest score a school will receive. So if there is a benchmark not met in column 1, the school will still receive a score of a 1 for that general indicator. We do not provide a score of 0. And we have that noted here. If the school does not meet all the benchmarks in column 1, the school will receive a rating of 1. It may result in the assignment of provisional status from the validation team. So the validation team, in your discussions, you will determine whether or not your recommendation is for provisional status. That then goes to the District National Lutheran School Accreditation Commission, and the commission will reflect on the provisional rating, if you so desire, to provide that for a school. And they will probably be in discussion with you in determination of that. And then the NLSA District Commission sends that forth to the National Accreditation Commission that will also reflect on any provisional status. This is the scoring box once again. So you again see the general indicator of success. You see the scoring. You may also note there's an NA box because there are some schools, perhaps it could be a micro school, it could be an online school. We have so many different schooling options at this point in time that we have provided an NA. If this rating does not apply, mark NA and provide an explanation below as to whether or not the indicator does not apply. The school must do that in its self-study, and then it is determined by the NLSA consultant assigned to the school if they agree with the NA, and it may also be determined by the district education executive if they agree with that rating as well, and by the national office. Typically, you will not see NA applied, and the school will rate itself 1 to 4. So please note that there's an additional layer if a school is going to attempt to say that it does not apply a particular general indicator to their work. So with this, again, column 1, here you see it has 2 benchmarks, column 2, 1 benchmark, column 3, 2 benchmarks, and column 4, 1 benchmark. To receive a 1, you will automatically have a 1 as a school. If you meet benchmark A and benchmark B, you continue to have a 1. And you would move over to column 2 if they have met both of those benchmarks. Column 2, if the school does not successfully meet benchmark 2C, the school would receive a rating of a 1 for 103 general indicator of success. If they meet benchmark 2C, again, you continue to move along and you go to column 3, which has 2 benchmarks. And let's say in column 3, the school meets benchmark D but does not meet benchmark E. The rating would be a 2 because they have not met all of the benchmarks for the next column or the next rating. So this is the new rating system for our general indicators. And again, at the end of each standard, you will calculate the standard score for the general indicators based on the number of general indicators in that standard. And then you would divide to receive the overall score. As before, our overall scores for a standard are to the 10th, and the overall school rating score is to the 100th. Thank you so much for agreeing to serve on a National Lutheran School Accreditation Validation Team. I will give thanks for you giving your talents, your time, and we really are blessed by all of you who serve on our teams and support our Lutheran schools. Continued blessings to you, and may God continue to bless our Lutheran schools.